Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Her Excellency Dr. Anita Mckaney. I am the founder of the Titus 10 Foundation. I'm also a missions minister, a professor of nursing, a certified human rights consultant with the U.S. Institute of Diplomacy and Human Rights, as well as a United Nations Global Peace Ambassador with WOMI to the United Nations. I am very excited to be celebrating with you this week the 75th anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights. And I am not alone. I want to introduce to you two wonderful doctors who are also working towards human rights. The first one is Dr. Shaleen Das. She is a brand ambassador for Youth for Human Rights International, Washington, D.C., from India, and Guardians of Human Rights in Florida, the country director, a human rights lecturer, trainer, consultant, and youth affairs empowerment speaker. We want to welcome Dr. Shaleen Das. Welcome so much. Glad to have you. And I also want to welcome Dr. Florence Brooks. She is an incredible apostle and chancellor of multiple institutions. She is also a minister and a human rights consultant with the United States Diplomacy and Human Rights Institute. And we want to welcome her as well. Welcome to the both of you to today's event. You are welcome. So I will start with Dr. Brooks. Please tell us how you got into human rights and what it means to you.
Thank you so much, my dearest Her Excellency Professor Anita. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I am very, very happy today to be part to celebrate the 75th anniversary of human rights, which I believe that many of the people don't know. Coming to know how your rights supposed to be, it is very important. How I came to know it is because of several things that has been happening in our community and in our society, and it seems like people are clueless for what is happening. But you need a voice for someone to be for the voiceless. Like you rightly say, my introduction of who I am is a conglomerate of a lot of things. I'm right now, I'm putting a book even for human rights. Our organization is called Global Human Rights Defense Organization, the voice for the voiceless. And we are standing to give that hope to those that don't have and to know their right. Women, where I'm coming from originally is from West Africa, and women have been battered so much. And even where I am right now, being in the United States for over 2 decades right now, I see that many people, especially women, are not being given or enjoying the rights that humans are supposed to enjoy, because it is a free right. If we go into the 30 rights of human rights, they are not even enjoying them, and including children. And that is why it drove me to that place, so that I can be a voice to the community. And that is all I can say for right now. Thank you again for the opportunity.
You are very welcome. And we also have Dr. Shaleen Das, who recently received her doctorate. We are so proud of her. Welcome. Welcome, Dr. Das.
Thank you so much. Greetings all the way from India, Kolkata city, Dr. Anita and Dr. Florence. It's great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to come and share my viewpoints on human rights and to celebrate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 75th years, and that too with the great personality of human rights, that's you and Dr. Florence. It's amazing, to be here and coming coming from all the way from India and talking about my journey. It was quite challenging because in India there are a lot of domestic violence, and to be very honest, when it comes to human rights subject, because I did my doctoral in youth affairs, youth empowerment speaker, then working with youth development projects, I can see there are, less human rights topic, less human rights education. So if I talk about the education, then it's there. But when somebody wants to become a lawyer, want to do their higher studies, only there. But the thing is, I have all the rights to know my fundamental duties since I'm a child. So from the grassroots, things are not there. And just to bring that and, to push forward and to empower all the young ones, that's how my journey started. And that's on that field, particularly, I'm working. And I have many more to say to discuss with you and Dr. Florence regarding my journey. I'm super excited for that. Hmm.
Yes, we are as well. I want to thank you both so much for being here. So let's start with the history of the Declaration of Human Rights. This is a milestone document in the history of human rights. It was drafted by representatives with different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. And this declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on December 10th, in 1948 by the General Assembly Resolution 217A as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations. It sets forth for the first time fundamental human rights to be universally protected, and it's been translated into over 500 languages. Can you believe that? The
Mhm.
USDR is widely recognized as having inspired and paved the way for adoption of more than 70 human rights treaties. It's applied today on a permanent basis at global and regional levels. Today, we will talk through the 30 different articles that make up the Declaration of Human Rights. And so, ladies, we want to start with the first one. It says that all human beings are born free and equal with dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. What is your comments on Article 1?
Uh, like as you mentioned that already in the year of 1948, the document were passed, and Article number 1 talks about we all are born and free equal. We are all born free. We all have our own thoughts and idea. We should all be treated in the same way. But unfortunately, Dr. Anita, I must say that uh, we are celebrating 75 years indeed, but still we are lag behind. Still, people don't know we are all born and free equal. There are discrimination, there are body shaming, there are injustice things. People put you down regarding your height, weight, skin color. So where we are born and free equal, and so it has been 75 years. Can you imagine? And still now we come in this kind of controversy and domestic violence where people talks about your height, weight, and skin color. So when we are born equal, we don't have any class. People categorize the class. Who are we to talk about that you fit into this category? You come in this. No, you are not my type. Who are we? Nowhere is written. We all are born, but still people don't know about it. So we do face a lot of problems. So what's your viewpoint, Dr. Florence, on article number 1?
You're muted, Dr. Brooks. Go ahead and unmute.
I think I'm very, very much agree 200%, not even 100 for what you just said, because I will not go back to what you have said, but my suggestion is those of us right now that have decided to answer this call, to be that voice, to not keep quiet and help to educate everyone to know their right. There is a difference by you knowing your right and being rude. There's a difference by you knowing your right and being arrogant. And because many people, for what we have just said, we all are born free and equal, but the equality is not there. Why will you look at somebody because the person is not tall and you are tall and they have certain position? Look at your finger. They are not even the same, but they do the same thing. We're supposed to be in one union. This is what human rights supposed to be. 75 years and still there are people and children who are not going to school. There are certain women who are not enjoying the privilege to see the 4 walls of school. But yeah, the right say we are all born free and equal. And certain people, even in the United States, are deprived of certain amenities and possibilities. And certain people have to be in special school, and certain people have to be in special area, and certain people have to be called special name, section this, section that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's an
Exactly.
atrocity. And it actually lends into the second treaty, the second article, which is freedom from discrimination, as you both mentioned. Everyone is entitled to rights and freedoms without any distinction to color, race, religion, sex, politics, national origin, birth, or your status. And so many times that's just not the case, unfortunately. The third article is the right to life and safety. Everyone has the right to life, to liberty, and to security. And unfortunately, there are many places where there is not security. Speak to that, please, Dr. Brooks.
I would definitely have to. And looking at this part, teaching my student, I was telling them, and they came up with a lot of questions that why is it where I come from? It is 10 regions. In that 10 regions, you have 8 regions that is totally French speaking and 8 that is totally English speaking. And there is no right given to those English speakers, and it's a problem. And they are killing them ruthlessly because they are fighting for their right. How can this be? And we all, and they have an organization for human rights in that country. And you see, and a recent one that just happened, they went into a particular village and just blast and kill children under 2. Are you kidding me? Where is the life for these children? Where is the human right that we are talking about? Where is it? It is a great concern, and it is a place for us to say before we hit 100 years, there should be a lot of people that should be aware on this particular aspect of the 30 rights that we call human right and was made universally. And to make matter worse, how can this right be translated in 500 different countries and still people don't have the right to live? Don't have
Yeah,
the right
that's
to
an
enjoy
excellent
life.
point. Yeah, Dr. Shaleen.
The right to life, you know what? Working with young minds. Young people get into drugs, addictions, a lot of, problems, controversies, and as I said, discrimination. And the young minds really don't know how to overcome that, how to tackle that situation. For that, I started working with youth affairs because human rights education not only teach you the etiquettes and the 30 fundamental rights, also makes you aware how to be a very good human being, and if there is any problem in your life, how to overcome and tackle those situations. So there are a lot of benefits of human rights education. And if I talk about the right to life, people get into drugs, people get into addictions and a lot of things, and then the right to life, the life is just once, no matter what. If I see highs and lows, downfalls, I should, stay empowered and motivated that this life is given by the Lord. It's just once. I should enjoy this. I never, I cannot have negativity on my mind that I should end my life, I should commit suicide, I'm not getting this. So this right to life, how life is precious, the young mind should know this.
Mhm.
Very,
Over
very
to you.
good. Absolutely. Article 4 speaks to the freedom from slavery. No person shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in every form. There's a lot of places that have come out of slavery, right? That have held people in bondage, that have sold people, that literally are detracting from a person's worth because they're saying that they are worth a price. We know that we can never put a price on a person. That is something that is not ever going to be worth what they are as a person. So we can't
Mhm.
ever say that a person is worth a certain dollar amount or that one person is greater or less than another. We're all created equally in the eyes of God. And so to defy that is to defy Article number 4 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Are there any comments on this article from Freedom of Slavery?
Yes, yes,
Dr.
Dr.
Anita,
Anita. She can go.
you will go. Dr. Florence, you will say few lines.
I say you can go.
Okay. Uh, Slavery. Do we know what the term of slavery is? We came to know slavery long time back. But Dr. Anita and Dr. Florence, I'm telling you my experience with the victims, especially in India, of modern slavery is marriage. You get
Mm,
That's
up
where I'm
early,
coming.
early morning, you cook food for me. You get up, you come and make the bed tea for me. Why? You do this, you do that. Are we women? Are we born with a tag that we are always, bound to be in the kitchen? And after marriage we have the certain responsibilities? No. Again, equality comes in, as Dr. Florence mentioned. Then where is the equality? And slavery is, the term of slavery is just not a one word. Slavery keeps happening in different various ways. How you are making slave, how you are using someone to fulfill your need. So,
That's what it
Dr.
is.
Florence, you tell me your viewpoints on this.
You have said it already. You use someone to meet your needs. And the fact that I am a victim in my own household, slavery in this aspect is broad. That you would take a child where I come from. There are wealthy people that take a child from the village. They tell the parents, we want to help your son, we want to help your daughter, and bring into the city. And that child become a mate, not just a mate, but beyond the word mate, like Cinderella. The child cannot sit on the table with everybody. That's slavery right there. The child cannot get enough sleep. That's slavery right there. The child cannot eat the same food or dress like every other person is dressing. What are you putting in that child? Before we even go into the global world, this slavery is right within our own community and in our own homes. And I'm saying this to
Yes.
great leaders. Let them see and know when you take a child from somebody, give the
Mhm.
benefit, give the same you are doing to your own children. When you start to discriminate, that discrimination comes there again. There is no equality because the parents are less. They call them name. They call them dirty. They dress. You buy your child a clothes for 50,000. You buy that one a clothes for $1. Matter of fact, you go for bend down picking what they call okrika. You talk about women. Now, women in this aspect, there are some women that are more stronger than their husband, but in majority of the cases, women have always been a weaker vessel. And they have been bound. They cannot speak. It's in the other religion, even though we will be going on that point that everybody have the freedom for religion. Certain women in certain religion, which I will not call names, and we know because this is going air, they cannot speak. That's slavery. That's bondage. Slavery is bondage.
yeah, it's degrading. It is cruel to enslave
Yes.
anyone for any reason. Absolutely. So, Article 6 is the right to equal treatment everywhere. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law, equal treatment. And so, a lot of times, this comes with men versus women, or even children versus adults, that people
Mhm.
are treated equally. And so, whether it is your sex, your religious belief, or even your status, or how much money you have, right? Because we know that
Mhm.
many times poorer people are not treated as equally as people who have means. And so, speak to that, Dr. Shaleen.
Like as you said that those who are poor people, they're not, treated equally, in equal ways. Then you know what? Then again I will say, this thing starts from the home, how your parents are changing your mindset. And
Uh,
before giving you something, they're mentioning that, listen, you're lucky enough, you're getting this. Other people, those who comes from, no, orphanage, they're not getting this. So parents should infuse all these things in the young minds, because automatically if I start getting everything, I know I have power, I know I'm getting this from my parents, I know I have an iPhone. The front person who's not having an iPhone, that person is not capable of my teen, cannot match my standards. They automatically things like that. But we should not think about who's poor and who's
Right.
rich. It's all about human beings, or humanity, that you're a good human being from your heart. So what if I come from a rich background? For this reason, divorces are happening, because youth get attracted to those guys and girls who are beautiful, who are have showing off, having this and that, but they don't understand who values you, who respect you, who's
Mhm,
there in your bad times. So
mhm.
youth, young minds, every individual should know this, and I guess then we can maintain something. What's your viewpoint, Dr. Florence?
You have said it all. They're right. I'm a person just like you. Why do you have four legs and I have two? Do you have two heads and I have one? It's a problem right there.
It's a
Why don't
problem.
you see me like that? Do you have another time that you share that I don't share? Time is a commodity that everybody share it 24 hours. It doesn't do. So see me like that. That's all I can
Right.
say.
Absolutely. And even equal treatment as far as under the law. You know, many times in several places around the world, there are people who get treated differently
Mhm.
because
Of course.
they are born into a certain status, they belong to a certain family, they have a certain name, they have means or
Dr.
money.
Anita, I'm telling you, these things are there in India, because working for Indian communities and uplifting the society, and to be with the domestic violence all the time, I'm into this field. You know that you don't know how bad experience I have by knowing the story from the victim, and that too live. And when you will come to know those stories and events from me, really it will just shake you up. And I all the time stay in negativity, because I cannot say that India is a country of domestic violence, US is a country of domestic violence. Everywhere there is more or
There
less.
is too much
And
violence. Yes.
women, and all the time women are the target, and as if they are the sex toy, or their body is just open to all. Molestation, rape, murder, all the time.
A woman, just to add that before, please, Dr. Anita, this is a very crucial matter here.
Yes,
A
go ahead.
friend, I think I shared that video with you, and I will not call her name, but I told her about this. This woman is in her 60s and been with her marriage with her husband for 70. The man is 70. They've been there for 40 years. Why will you treat, she is from the other faith, the other faith of the family, that they cover them hair and everything. This woman does everything. This woman never say anything about her husband. I was surprised. She was beaten mercilessly. I think I shared that with you.
Mhm.
Now, it was me that did that, and she was raped. A woman at 65. Lord Jesus, help me. Why did you see her like that? Her own husband puts all this calamity to before her in the name of marriage. Rubbish from the pit of hell. Nonsense, Arab nonsense. Rape from the front and rape from the back. She is all blistered, a 65 years old. Come on, where are the human rights in South Africa before all this nonsense was happening? What happened with the judiciary system? What happened with the police enforcement? And they were the one that started picking her up and threw her at the back. At her age, she said there was not even shoes on her feet. That means they did not treat her as a person. I mean, this is hurting.
Yeah,
And
I
as
have
much
to
as we are
say,
celebrating this day today, it's hurting.
yeah, that right to equal treatment is huge. It is a huge article in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and one that is
Even
largely
Dr.
ignored. And
Anita,
so we have
I'm
to truly look and see what's going on, make people aware that they know that this is actually in the Declaration of Human Rights. Many people are still very much aware and ignorant that it exists. Go ahead,
Mhm.
Dr. Shaleen.
Yeah, even Dr. Anita, the story Dr. Florence said is similar as that. I'm sharing with you recently. There was some story SMS that in India, in one part, which is Manipur, where women were raped, and all the guy made her naked and made her walk. And police were there, everybody was there, but nobody was coming up front and saving her life.
Oh my.
So when that, oh my God, I'm having a goosebumps. I don't know why. When I was seeing that in the news, I was literally having tears on my eyes. That what she has been through, who knows her pain? And for how long? You tell me. I'm telling you one more thing, Dr. Anita and Dr. Florence. If any things are happening in India, if any women are dying, murder, rape, molestation, people will take their candles in their hands and they will do a march. But I always say, why I came into this forum, why I started this mission educating all the young ones regarding their rights. Because before taking candles in your hand, going for a march, why we should, before doing that, we can do one thing, that we all can come united. And before taking candles in our hand, we should come and educate all the young ones and change their mindset, groom them from the
It is
mental department.
mental.
You know,
Mhm.
then only you can change. And taking candles and showing sympathy, that won't work. Every day same damn story will keep happening now and then. Every day you will take candles in your hand and then you will go for a march, and that time you have time, leave that time, stop doing that. Come, come all together,
Certainly.
let's get
Mhm.
united, and
Yeah,
then
I
educate all the
totally
young
agree.
ones. Then I promise, then you don't have to take candles and you have to go for any march for justice.
Powerful,
When the
very
deed has been
powerful.
done.
It's more than just, remembering what happened to someone else. It's preventing it from happening to someone else in the future, right? And that's
Is it?
the power of educating people about their human rights, because then they are able to be empowered and to teach their children, and to literally, if you can change a family, if you can change a school, you can change a society, you can change a community. And so that's extremely powerful. Thank you for sharing that. The next couple of articles, the right to equal protection from discrimination and the right to protection by law enforcement, we actually have covered. Article
We've
number
just got
9 is
that.
freedom from random arrests or detainment. Why should someone be held detained when they are not guilty? There's no reason for a random arrest, punishment, or forced exile to push you out of your country, to hold you captive for no apparent reason. Everyone has the right to those liberties. And so to be detained, to be arrested, or kicked out of the place where you reside is actually something that is
Unlawful.
opposed by human rights. Go ahead.
Yes, it is unlawful. It is unfair to detain them. And again, the right that they claim that we are celebrating 75 years anniversary, as many will connect with this. Immigrants, most of them are the ones that go through this. Certain countries will not get a particular privileges. If a crime happened in a place, they don't even bother to ask. Not only that, color, they don't bother to ask. They bundle you and they throw you in jail. Why? Why does it have to be that? This is something that should go back. If they have to rewrite these laws or this right, they should take into consideration, because many people have lost their lives in the prison because they were wrongfully accused. I saw one time, I think that was last month, a man that was brought out was in the prison here in the United States, I think for 10.
Dr. Florence, we lost your audio. Try to unmute. We lost your audio, Dr. Florence. But I agree with what she's saying for sure, that you shouldn't be arrested just arbitrarily. A lot of that happens to African American men here in the United States. I think that's what she was getting to. Go ahead, Dr. Florence.
Yes, sorry with the interruption. And I'm like, many people here in the States, many people out of the country have lost their life, the life to live, the right to live before time because of foolishness like this. They refuse to go under the story, to go on the deep. They refuse to dig and dig. They just pick you, and then racism come, and then discrimination come, and then no freedom of speech. Are you kidding me? When I look at this 30 right, in one way or the other, it's just like to satisfy a certain group of people. Something needs to be done. If you have the wealthy in Africa that they are above the law, even though they still say they are above the law. I watched a movie yesterday, and this girl, because the father is in a politician and a king at the same time, that everybody is afraid of him. And because if you do everything they say, you will endure his wrath. The daughter run 7 years old child, and the detective came into the king's house. They refused to let. He said, just leave my house, because you know the type of child you are playing with, the daughter-in-law. Do you know the father? And now guess what? The woman is suffering there. The 7 years old is gone. And then they know there's no law to stand for. And then if he wants to talk, they grab the son and they bundle in the prison. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
These are not just movies, these are true life stories. Are you kidding me? Somebody needs to wake me up from this dream on this 75th anniversary that we are celebrating. Somebody wake me up, because something needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. It begins with the education, teaching
That is
people that they
it.
actually have these rights, teaching people that this is something that you can enforce. It's not something that is limited to your country. It's something that
No,
is universal. And I think that's
correct.
important for people to remember about the Declaration of Human Rights, because 75 years is much too long for everyone not to know about
You
them.
know,
The next one is
Even
Article 10. It is the
I'll
right.
go with,
Oh, I'm
can I
sorry.
say?
Did you have comment, Dr.
Yeah.
Shaleen? Go ahead.
Yeah, even I'll go with Dr. Florence. I have, read one article, one novel, that's American novel, which is To Kill a Mockingbird, and the author was
Um,
Haiku Lee, and he mentioned the guy was only accused and he was in the jail just because of he was black and
I
white.
did not want to even go there.
Exactly. So these things were there. So I'll definitely go with Dr. Florence. These things were there even still now. These things are there.
mhm.
It has been 75 years, it has been many years, but still now, as a change, as a chain, it's running, it's coming back into society, and people are there, they're facing discrimination with the skin color, as a white or as a black. So what's your viewpoint on this, Dr. Anita?
Absolutely. I really feel that even though people think that they are colorblind, they are not. I think it's a
Mm.
beautiful thing to acknowledge color. I think it's a beautiful thing to acknowledge male and female. I think it's a beautiful thing to acknowledge the differences and not to discriminate because of them. So when we talk about the Declaration of Human Rights, it's something that, as I said before, we need to be educated about, but then we need to take a stand for it. We need to verbalize it. We need to make
Did
noise
you
about
just
it and
did
let
you just
people
say,
know that this is something that we are going to stand for, and we're going to stand against anything that does not look like it. Yes,
doctor,
Dr.
let me
Florence.
make you guys laugh. I'm really missing. I'm really missing this my mentor, this my sweetheart friend, a darling brother. His name, everything he said, I stand for. Professor Stanford Michael, the one that we missed here. Remember the one of our speakers. Stand for,
Okay.
and when he is talking or he's giving, he says, stands for what you know. That's my name. And I cannot be subjected or put in the box. I am stand for, and I'm standing for what is right. And you said it like 2 times, and I was laughing. If he was here, or it would have been funny. He would just say, you see, Dr. Anita is saying it. She's standing for my name. We need to wake up. We need to be educated. We need to educate a lot. This is the only way to create an awareness. This is
Mhm,
one of the tools, 3
mhm,
of us here and many, to put a conference, maybe this 2024, to try and reduce. We will not finish the fight in 1 year, but try and reduce it. Try, and so people should be aware, Dr. Anita. Seriously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah, it's just the beginning. I mean, really, in the scheme of life, 75 years is actually not even that long. We have a long way to go, and we have a lot
Go,
more to
exactly.
do. And so Article 10 is the right to a fair trial. Article 11 is the right to be presumed innocent. And then Article 12 is the right to privacy. I want to spend some time on this one as a nurse, as a nursing professor, a healthcare worker, someone who's been through the COVID pandemic, all of these things. there is much to be said even about technology with the right to privacy. You know, people are becoming more and more aware of who's online, where you are, what you're doing, what you're buying in the grocery store, who your kids are, pictures flying all over the internet. The right to privacy is going away,
Mm.
unfortunately. And so, because it is a human right, no one should be subjected to interference in their life without their permission. Your
Yes.
correspondence should be private unless you dictate otherwise. Some people put themselves out on the internet, and that's up to you to decide what you want to expose about yourself, your family, your location, all of those types of things. But this right is to ensure that people can't randomly barge into your life, take your
True.
healthcare information, able to get information about your children, steal your identity, all of those types of things. And so we should be able to freely live without the threat of personal attack. Someone's going to steal my social security number, or that I will be marked, or someone will take my name, right, and use it for other purposes instead of its rightful intent. And so the right to privacy is basically you don't want any infringement on your personal life. And I know that as a person who has been in healthcare systems, that's something that you want to maintain privately. People may not want everyone to know that you're having a surgery. They may not want everyone to know that you're pregnant. May not want everyone to know that you've changed your name. You know, so there are things that with the right to privacy that's granted right here in the Declaration of Human Rights that many people are unaware of. And unfortunately,
Yes.
it's growing into a problem.
A
You have
serious
comments?
problem, my professor.
Yeah, unfortunately so. The next one is Article 13, the right to move
Sure.
freely, and Article
Mm.
14, the right to asylum. So these two I want to put together. You have the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of your state, and everyone has the right to leave their country and return
Mm.
to their country, and also to find asylum, to go to other countries and enjoy asylum from persecution if you are fleeing your country for any particular reason. That's actually your right. So I know we could talk about this one, Dr. Shaleen.
Yeah. Uh,
I am an
Asking all
asylee,
the
so that one, woo. Jesus, go ahead, Dr. Charlie, please.
No, no, please, Dr. Florence, I want to hear from you. You please say. Please. Yeah.
The freedom of movement, it doesn't only go before out, like she said, or she read it as the article is, even within your vicinity. Certain people cannot move in a certain location. Certain people are not allowed in a certain location. How are you coming here? You are a drunkard. Or you move in a vicinity that it is all about the wealthy. Everybody. Privacy is being people intrude and they're asking and they begin to look at you. A case happened when I just came to the United States in America in 2006 in Washington, Maryland. And this act happened in White Oak. I was scared to death. This is not a lie. This is true life story. This boy just came, and because he doesn't understand how the law move here, and the door was locked, and he was trying to knock at the door for the sister to come and open, did not have a phone, and another woman, and this is a white woman, look at that child, call the cops, came there, and they shot this boy dead. I just came in this country 3 days.
Oh my. Wow. 3 days after you got here, this happened. Oh my.
And I said, where have I found myself? What is this? This boy just came 2 weeks ago and he left his country to come and die in America. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're talking of freedom of movement because it was in a particular neighborhood because he is black? Huh? No privacy for this child calling the brother. Are you serious? Not talking about asylum. That even your case is still clear. You project it. I'm an asylee. There is a problem going on in my country. The Southwest or the two English-speaking region are fighting, and this has been going on before even it officially came out. I was defending for my asylum when the war has not even started. But because I had the opportunity to do a Cameroon history, I knew that one day this will happen. This is how I defended. Still, even when you explain and explain and explain, people, they don't still even grant you that asylum. They still want a lot of evidence. When you know and you know, now people cannot even say in their country. There are people in our country that are taking the road by road. Dr. Anita and Dr. Shaleen, if you guys don't know, walking on foot for months in the bush to enter in this country, and then you will come now, and then they detain you, and then you have to go and stand to defend yourself. And if you don't detain, they drag you to start going back. What is the human right of the Article 13 and the 14? We are standing here today and celebrating it for 75 years. If the person has made it and give you an asylum paper that he has written and told you that this is what has happened, can you just consider, you even make matter worse? There are people, as I'm speaking right now, that have gone before the court or the judge and they were not granted. Where do you want them to go? Huh? We need enough evidence. Which other evidence? And you know, you try to close your ear as if you don't know that problem is happening in Nigeria because of the religious problem, in Cameroon because the West, the Southwest, and the Northwest are fighting and they are killing, and you know it, and you are pretending. And then the person come here, you cannot just say, okay, have it. No, that's a problem. That's a serious problem. This problem of human rights is worse than cancer, stage 4.
Yeah, it's so difficult to move from one country to the next, or to hide, to find asylum, to find a safe, peaceful place when your country is not peaceful. Many people are running from war, right? They're running to get a better education. They're trying to cross borders so that they can find a place for their family, to
Refuge.
start a
Yes.
family, refuge, right? And so even just to get food, clothing, and shelter, and to live a decent life with their families can be so hard because borders and all types of issues with immigration, paperwork, holding up people for years and years and years, just so they can become citizens of a different nation. So many of these things have layers of problems. It's not just one problem, it's multiple problems.
Multiple.
And there are multiple layers, even in the Declaration of Human Rights, and several human rights are being discarded with this issue of being able to move and relocate back and forth. Dr. Shaleen?
The thing is, again, I'll go with Dr. Florence and Dr. Anita. As you both mentioned, I can see one thing: the law needs to change, whether it's in India, whether it's in the United States of America. Because I believe one more thing: if all the time I'm the victim and something is happening to me, I cannot prove to the court. I don't have evidence. And court only, give the judgment on evidence. So
Only on
just to have,
evidence.
yes, just to have evidence. Can I have a camera with me all the time to record that this thing is happening and show that I'm ready and I'm aware and I can go to the court and I can just show, for example, the Johnny Depp, the first guy in America who won the case, and a woman, wife, who just accused him that he used to beat him and beat her and torture her. So even women are misusing the laws.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah,
Unfortunately.
being a men rights specialist working for Men Forum and doing taking care of the cases and doing the case study, I can see there are a lot of women that taking this as a granted. That so what, we are women, the laws favor us, not men. Everywhere on this planet Earth, you won't see that somebody is educating on men rights. You will see the list of rights: child rights, women rights, disability rights, but many more rights. But you won't find the
There's no men
term.
rights.
Yeah, but when Dr. Anita, like I am a lecturer, I teach in several colleges. One student and came up to me, ma'am, we all what's your viewpoint on this women empowerment and women rights? I told her one thing: we all are women, we all are special, fine, we do face problem, fine. But one thing I would love to say in this session, because I can see there are a lot of young ones who allow men and came up with for this session. What about the guy? Because when a child is born, a girl child or whether a male child, that time the male child is not a criminal or having a criminal mind.
Mm.
So even he has the rights for his life. And when he is growing up, as I talk about, I spoke about my journey, women are in when I was receiving my doctoral degree, that yeah, women face a lot of versions in their life, uh, being from a girl child to a young lady, from a young lady to a girlfriend, from a girlfriend to fiance, from a fiance to wife, and from a motherhood. Same like that, even same goes to the men. A girl, a male child from a boy, young boy who's a youth, and from a young boy, like he got married, he became a man, and then he's a husband. So I cannot target, and I cannot say that all the time guys are wrong, men are wrong. We all are human beings. And if he get accused, if he's getting becoming the target, and if he's the victim, and if law and police take him to the jail, what about him? He will finish his life every year, through the
Mm.
year in jail, without
Mm.
any, without committing any
Mm.
crime, without
Mm.
doing anything wrong. Then who will save him? Then he has no right to life. This
Mm. No right to
75
life.
years of celebration of human rights, when, but trust me, Dr. Ani, then Dr. Florence, I'm telling you, when in reality, when we human beings face problem, no, there is no human rights at all.
That is
Nobody
it.
comes to save you. We all the time raise our voice. Human rights, it came in the picture. 75 years, international law is there. All those things. That time, all are diplomatic, making
Help
them
people,
mouth
their
shut.
politics.
Yes, politics and diplomats, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody will come and save you. Same like that. If I'll talk about one incident happened in America, George Floyd. The
I didn't want to call
best
Joyce Floyd name. Look at that. And then the other one that was in New York, that I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He's crying. I can't breathe.
time.
Nobody is there for
Exactly.
him. And he died. Then Joyce Floyd.
Exactly.
Then this one. Hey, come on. Enough.
So no matter what, whether we are police, whether we are engineer, doctors, or lawyers, we are,
Equal.
the term called humanity, that's missing on this planet Earth. Day by day, it's losing. And more you less humanity, more violence come up, and more you lose all your ethics, morals, wisdom, and more you will face domestic violence, and more you will see that the on the planet Earth, the system of society is just going to a downfall. It's not going
Mm-hmm.
to rise up.
Mm-hmm.
What's
I
your
Wow,
agree.
viewpoint on
powerful
this?
words from both of you. Very powerful words. I tell you that it's really something to have lived as long as I have lived, and for even for the Declaration of Human Rights to have gone these 75 years, and even things have not changed so much from even my grandmother's time to now. But I really believe that we can make small changes that will affect society. Someone can be
Mhm.
affected, someone can be changed. There can be little changes, and it may not affect the whole world. It may not affect your whole country. It may not even affect your whole state, but it may affect your whole community. You know,
Yeah,
it may affect your whole family. And that's why I became a human rights consultant, so that I can
that's
give
what
people
happened.
some hope, because
Yes.
you don't want to share about human rights in a way that makes people feel as there is no hope ever. Like, oh, this will never change. This will never be positive. This will never go on. The fact that we have a Declaration of Human Rights is a blessing. It's a blessing so that people can see this is something that has stood when other things have fallen away. There's even laws against it, really, in certain places in the world, which is crazy. But
Mhm.
there are places where it has never happened. Why? Because there is a Declaration of Human Rights. And so
Mhm.
we want to continue on looking at a few more. Article 15 is the right to a nationality. Everyone has a right to a nationality. And then Article 16, the right to marriage and family, which Dr. Shaleen spoke on somewhat, because we don't,
Mhm.
forced marriages should not be a thing. The right to own property is Article 17. And then let's talk about Article 18, the right to religious freedom. This one here is one that has been very misconfused, because what does, religious freedom really mean? If you're Buddhist, if you're Hindu, if you're
If you are
Christian,
Muslim.
if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, or whatever the case may be, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This
Yep.
includes that you can change your religion, you can change your belief. You can change that. I think I want to be a Christian now. I received Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I'm going to be a Christian. And I used to be Muslim, right? Or to manifest that in teaching and practice without persecution. What I don't see is people speaking up against people who are being persecuted for their faith. Persecuted for their faith, houses burned, families destroyed, just unable to get employment because of what you believe. This is
Mhm.
what you personally believe. This is the God you worship. Even I'm a Christian, right? But even in my Bible, God does not force you to become a Christian. He does not
That
force you
is
to
it.
worship him. And so I don't think if God does not force us to worship him, then why do we force one another to become a certain religion? Or you can only be this religion in this country, or you can only worship this way in this place. Now, there are certain places, certain establishments that say, hey, this is what we do here. And if that's not what you worship, that's not what you believe, then why would you go there and force them to try to be different?
Right.
Now,
That is
there's
it.
also the thing of, hey, if you decide to change, that's also your right. If you want to say, I don't want to be a Christian anymore, that's your right. If you want to say, I don't want to be Muslim anymore, that's your right. I don't want to be Buddhist, that's your right. It's between you and God. It's not between you and a person. I
Yes.
feel like you ladies have a lot to say about this. So go ahead. Who's going first?
Before we go there, permit me, Dr. Anita and Dr. Shane. We've already intertwined 16, 17, 16, 15, 16, 17. But there's a little note I just want to make on that. And this is where my passion is going. And if I'm wrong, maybe we can go before I go to that 18. The right to own your own things or property in America.
Yes.
Do you know that people are living under the bridge? What is the problem?
Mm.
Why can we not come up with something? I'm talking of big America that people in Africa don't even know that there are people who have served in the country as armies and come back, they are traumatized. They are standing on the road. They are holding a placard. They don't have a home. They are pushing. My heart bleeds. And trust me, I've been praying. I'm a Christian. I've been praying and I said, Father, please just bless me. One of the things I want to do, and I know that Professor Anita and even you, Dr. Shen, you guys will help me. And my partners like Dr. Michael Stanford and other people, I've been sharing this with them. I am taking this movement for this right of number 17. Get a place to put these people there. Let us not have them and move it. There is a difference being a mental person and people who are living. What happened with their homes? What is the problem? And we see them. And they have even been coined with a name. They're homeless. It's an insult in human rights. It's an insult. Find a place and put them. This is winter. It's so painful. I don't know. Every day I'm asking questions. How can somebody, we need to come up, like he said earlier, Professor Anita. We have to start small. And I'm begging God, just give me something. I will start my campaign of non-homeless. I'm coming with a name. Non-homeless, but homeowners. Get them on the street. Give them a room. You are not paying me nothing. Just stay. We get workers. Sit there and give you hope, like she said. For this Article 17, the right to own your own things. You don't even have it in America. Then talk less of Africa and talk less of the third world country. That one is It's abominable. Now, going to Article 18, permit me. It's freedom of thought, freedom of this. She said it all. If you don't want to be what you want to be, maybe your parent, go for it. Nobody came on this earth that will remain. In everything we do in life, there will be a day that you will stand, you will go back where you came. So we are strangers until we start understanding that this earth that we are living, we are just passing. It's like if I go now to visit Dr. Shen in India, I will not stay there. That's not my place. This is my home. So in your mentality, know that one day this is not all about you. You will go back just the same way you never knew how you came. So whatever decision you want to make, it's up to you. It's up to you. You don't want to be in this belief system, that is fine. Don't kill somebody. Or don't tell me that, oh, we only practice Muslim here, and if you don't wrap your head, even as a Christian, they say when you go to Rome, do what Romans do. Jesus is so smart.
Yes.
You know what? Nobody. I'm telling you, he's the most smartest person. Give to Caesar what it is Caesar. And get out there. Don't hammer somebody. You are not practicing my Christianity. I'm not talking to you. You are Judaism. I'm not talking to you. Are you serious? Is it your consent? It is a matter of choice. This is my choice. Can you let me be?
Right.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, Dr. Shaleen, what are your thoughts on that? People have a right to religion.
Look, all I know that we are showcasing the right to religion, then we are coming to know from which community we are, coming from. But when we are taking birth and we have no tagline, that time we don't know the right to religion, that I'm from which religion. If you ask me, then I just have only one religion, that's I follow in my whole life, that's humanity and love. That's the only
You see that? That's a religion.
Love is
yes.
everything, right?
That
Yeah,
is it. And
love
that's what
and
Jesus said.
humanity.
Love wins. Love conquers everything. And she has
Yes.
chosen. Jesus himself is love. And so even when she's loving love, he is connected to that man that Jesus. He might not call her name, his name, but Jesus is love. That is his nature. And if that is a religion, she has conquered, because love and humanity is a religion on its own. Because if you cannot love, then you cannot even help humanity. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 25, now I'm not talking, I'm only giving the scripture because we are speaking on the aspect of religion, and that is my foundation. And so he said, when I was in the prison, the Jesus said was a Muslim, and then you did not come and he did not mention Muslim, Hindu, Buddhism, Shintoism. He just said, when I was in the prison, that is humanity right there for Dr. Shen that you just said. You never visited me. When I didn't have clothes, you never gave me clothes. When I was hungry, you never gave me food. When I was thirsty, you did not call religion there. He was talking about humanity and love. It takes only love and humanity for you to go extra mile and do that. And you have big ministers of the gospel. There was tsunami there in Houston, and I will not mention name. They were pushing certain people, and they call themselves religious bodies, pushing them, and they have big crowd of churches and followers. But when there was tsunami, when there was that hurricane that happened over there, he left his church that he did not want to see certain people. Where is the love you are talking about as a Christian? Where is your humanity belief that to see another fellow human like you in Texas?
Yeah, so
Even
I
I
mean,
have
like us,
one
whether you are from
story.
India, whether you're from Cameroon, whether you're from the
Yeah.
States, whether you're from Nigeria, there are some basic things that human
Anita,
rights speaks to. Go
exactly.
ahead, Dr. Shaleen.
Anita, like as I come from India. I'm Bengali. I'm Hindu, but I did my schooling education in Christian community school because I was fond of Jesus Christ, and nobody questioned me why you're following that, why you're liking that, because my mother always said one thing: every religion has their best thing. So you follow the best thing and you learn the best out of it and follow whatever you like. But for that, You didn't need a special tag that I'm this, so that's mean I love this religion. Of course not. My soul is there. My soul knows, my mind knows whom I respect, whom I love. For that, I don't need any tag. Same thing as like the right to marriage. In everywhere, people are misusing the term of marriage. They're married, having a ring, following all the rituals and everything, but still they are not committed to each other. But
So
still, just
Yes.
true.
for show off,
Oh, don't
they're
do that
married,
one, David.
husband, wife, and showing the other people, and inside there's nothing. So why you are misusing this? So it's
Yeah.
all about soul. It's all about soul
Mhm.
and mind, whom you like, whom you want to be. Same like with the right to religion, same like with the article number 16. So
Yes.
what's your viewpoint?
Yeah, powerful. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I think the Declaration of Human Rights opens up a whole
Mindset.
just
Yes.
Number one.
a whole can of worms for everything because
Yes.
people are so passionate about these very topics right now. And it's really making a difference in how we are interacting with each other, how the world is changing, even with like global warming and how people are so passionate, suddenly realizing that sustainable development goals is a thing. Like so many things are opening up and people are realizing that their lives are being affected and the lives of their children are being affected. Why? Because they realize that they have a right to marry, that they have a right to asylum, that they have a right to religion, that they have a right of free speech, that they have a right to a fair trial. And they were unaware because their country is restrictive or because
Yes.
the things that they say they have a right to, they aren't experiencing. And that's
Yes. Yes.
unfortunate because we should be able to say, this is my right and this is how I'm exercising it. But unfortunately, it's the exercise, it's putting the feet to their faith, right? That we're missing. Because if your faith says that this, you have a right to, not discriminate, then why are you discriminating? If you have a right to
Right.
a fair trial, then why is this not fair? So I really am enjoying this conversation. And for those who are watching this or watching the replay, thank you so much for joining us. We are Dr. Florence, Dr. Shaleen, and Dr. Anita. We are all human rights advocates and consultants, and we are passionate about what we do. We have these conversations with people. We go out into our communities. We actually speak on these things. We lecture, we share, we travel, and we enforce the human rights for many who don't have a voice, for many who are unaware of the
Mm.
Declaration of Human Rights. So we are here today celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights, and we just have a few more to go. And I'm excited. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. Let's go ahead and continue. I'm going to go ahead. We had some people following us live. I'm going to go ahead and, hey, if you are following us live at this time, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you rewatch this whole thing when it becomes live again on Facebook later on. So we're going to continue the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies, let's go ahead and continue.
Yes, please.
So we want to continue with the last few. Article 19 is the right to freedom of expression. So
Oh, Jesus.
basically, this refers to anything that's on media, right? Your social media, radio, television. You can express yourself through art. You can express yourself through books. You can express yourself through all types of media and express your opinions on topics like we're doing today. This is our right and we are exercising it. And so
Excellent.
that is your right to freedom of expression. And then there's the right to peaceful assembly, which is Article 20. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. Nobody has to be compelled to belong to an association. Like you have to be part of this group. You must join this group of people. And then Article 21 is the right to democracy, and 22
Mm.
is the right to social security. So speak on any of those that you like. 22 is the right to social security, 21 is the right to democracy, 20 is the right to peaceful assembly, and Article 19 is the right to freedom of expression.
Well, I will talk on this right of expression. I think certain people should not talk, which in the beginning, when we started, I think we all intertwined in one way or the other, that certain people cannot speak. Certain women cannot speak in a certain clan or tribe. They have no voice. And I think Dr. Shen said that as well also. They women, they are at their place only in the kitchen. And it's still happening even today. And it's happening even in churches. And if you do a certain thing in the church, you have to sit at the back. You cannot come at the front. You cannot express your thought. You can. I mean, again, I will go. Jesus said something so sweet to me. All of you that have come with your big garments to report that this woman did this. This is an act of two people. Where is the other person? Then you guys are pouring yourself to her, will not allow her to talk. And Jesus went down and started writing whatever he was writing, telling that woman. I said, you who is standing here, all of you, that you don't want this woman to even talk. I don't need to hear her. She just needs to be stoned to death because she has gone out of the law of Moses. Where's the freedom now? She didn't have the freedom to talk, right? And Jesus, as smart as he is, or was at that time, if you have not done any, be the first to cast the stone. Oh yeah, go ahead. Do it. Just do it. So we call it a day and we institute that.
So actually, Jesus gave them their human right to do that. They say, you have the right to do it. It was their choice, right? You have the right to stone this woman for adultery, or you have the right to restrain and to not do that. That's powerful.
That's why you just took it from my mouth that Jesus instituted human right. Oh yeah, go ahead. Just do it.
Jesus is for human rights. Incredible.
This is so sweet. Jesus gave them their human rights. Do it. Pillar, or you restrain. It's up to you. It's your right. Nobody's stopping you. So this freedom here is a big issue. I can't talk too much. I just wanted to bring that close because I brought it to my student. And they were like, hey, Professor Florence, how did you connect that with? I said, no, if you guys think that these rights are now, Jesus has given us those rights.
Wow.
Do
Yeah.
what you want.
Wow.
Do it. They'll do it
Dr.
right.
Shaleen, you had a comment?
Well, absolutely said, well said from Dr. Florence. And you know what? I just believe, and I just think one thing, like we talk about independence, movement, Jesus Christ story. They did a lot for human mankind so that we don't suffer and we don't see the pain.
Yeah.
That's why they have gone through the pain and the fights, world war, and so many things to give us the independence and so many things. But after all these things, I guess they were the fool because they did so much of thing for us, and we human being, what we are giving them in return, we are violating, we are creating the society more worse day by day. We don't have any respect, we don't recall what they have left for us. So I guess we are literally misusing all these things, and they suffered so much to bring human mankind so that there will be love, there will be peace, there will be less tolerance. But see, opposite things are happening, totally negative. You just see the world is full of negativity. So
Yeah.
it's quite painful. And like article number 19, the right,
Freedom of
you know, the
expression.
freedom of expression and the freedom of thought. Do we have freedom of thought? If we go somewhere, if any topics are given to us, we just share our viewpoints and our version. But we have to keep one more thing on our mind so that the opposite person, the front people who are just sitting, they don't get offended.
Don't talk.
Yeah, don't talk. They're not liking it. Why? That's my version. I'm sharing my viewpoint. You might not like it, that's up to you, but you cannot stop me. You cannot tell me, you cannot give your viewpoints, and you cannot say that I should say all the time yes to your viewpoints, because that's how your country rules are. Like, you just see what happened in Iran. Women rights, talk about women rights in Iran.
And to just add a little on that freedom of thought, many people where I come from, that's one of the area that maybe is good in America or the Western world, that they will ask opinion for children, but there should be some boundaries. But where we come from in Africa, you cannot talk as a child. If your father says, yes, Professor Anita, have that in your brain. No, you cannot. Even right now, they will force you with a man and you will say you don't want to marry that man. They will bring a man that probably because they tell you is their tradition, is their culture. Somebody that you were in your mother's womb and that man is probably 40 years older than you before you were born. And then before you become a woman, you can imagine a 20 years old, a 15 years old is marrying a 70 years old man. And you cannot refuse it. Go in that marriage and it is final. I am serious. I have my own marriage.
Wow.
And then you go, and then they say you cannot make a particular decision to say, I want to study this. Not because this person was a doctor, and now my father even knows. My father always wanted me to be a lawyer, even though I got my degree in criminal justice here in the United States. He was so happy, but he finally came to understand that what you can want for a child, and I'm not saying that now, people and listeners or those that watch this broadcast afterwards, don't get me wrong, there's no controversy. I'm not saying as a father, especially in the third world country, you should not give an advice. There is a saying that we say that what an old man will sit and see, a young man will not. I'm not saying that that is wrong, but the point I'm trying to make here is we are in a world today that the children are even more smarter as far as technology is concerned than the time of the old. So let them, if you see that it is something that will be productive, help them, push them, but help them to get the basic like maths, basic like English, basic like social study, geography, let them know, and then help them to build them where you see their focus is. The Bible itself said that what your gift will make room for you. A gift is something that you don't need to even learn it from school. You get up, you know it, you don't read no script, you get up, you start acting. That is your gift, but there are basic education. Don't impose. In marriage, they do that. In academic, they do that. In domestic work, they do that. So no freedom of thought. Are you serious? Are you kidding? Jesus? And God said, Deuteronomy 30:19, I will give scripture in this. You might not be a Christian, don't be mad. That is my foundation. It says, this is life, this is darkness, this is good, this is bad. Oh yeah, free will.
Yeah, you have a standard. You have a standard, and everyone they have the right to define their standard. They have a right to say, I want to be a Christian, I want to be a Muslim, I want to be, whatever. I will, and to make that their foundation. Now, the issue comes when people take that foundation and they say, my foundation is this and it's against the law, but that's my foundation. Then that's really becomes a problem. My foundation says I need to kill people. My foundation says I need to rape people. Like that becomes a problem, right? So there needs to be more than just, straight freedom of religion, because we can make up a religion. We can say my religion is, killing kids. Like that's not that's not a thing. You know what I mean? So there has to be a standard. And Dr. Florence is saying that her standard is the word of God. Her standard is the Bible. And so that is your right. And that's what we're talking about today. It's human rights. Like you have the right to define that for yourself.
Yes.
The issue comes when people take their rights and they try to make they abuse it, they take it, and they say, well, it's my interpretation of that thing.
Yes.
And so their interpretation is actually against the law. Their interpretation is hurting other people. It's not helping, it's not productive. And that's when it becomes a problem. So what's our next right? You're losing track. Let's see. We were
on 20 and 21. That's where we're talking. We're talking about democracy. Democracy says we all have the right to take part in the government of the country. Every grown-up should be allowed to choose their own leaders. And that's why we do voting. That is fine. It is simple and it's understandable. You don't want to even vote. You don't want to vote nobody. Go and sit down. It's your right. You choose not to. But I mean, according to this, yes, they say you should do it. And they're coming to the right to public assembly. Public assembly, that certain people should not be in a certain place, certain people should not be, nobody can make us to join certain group. You talked on that already, which
Yes.
we all know. And that right of 22, I think that's where we were, Social Security. We know that's where we ended. If I'm just helping you, doctor.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. Social Security. So as we are aging, as we're getting older, every country has a way to take care of their elderly, a way to make sure that you have food, clothing, shelter, that you have those basic security to keep you safe. Because that's
Mhm,
everyone's safety is to have shelter if there's snow, right? Is
mhm.
to have food if you're hungry, is to have clothing if it's, too hot outside. And so those things are lacking, and I would say 75% of the world. And that's why you see so many humanitarian agencies going out to help people who have no food, clothing, shelter, basic human rights, basic things. The elderly, just having basic life, A lot of places are treating their elderly and discarding them, unfortunately, instead of assisting them towards the end of life. I don't know how it is in your countries, how it's been for the elderly, but talk about that. Do they have social security? Are they able to live and die with dignity?
Now, maybe India does now. Your family better take care of you yourself. And if they are not there, the children are not there, I don't care. Nobody cares. We don't know what is Social Security. Who cares? They call what they call pension. Let me put it that way. I don't know if that's how you guys have it, Dr. Shane. There's what they call pension that they have to give you. If you look at, I will find a video and I sent to you, Dr. Anita and Dr. Shane, how people were sitting under the rain. These are people who have worked their in 40 years in the services, in 50 years in the services, and were begging their hard-earned money that you were cutting when they were young in the name of we are keeping your pension, and people have died without enjoying that pension. People stand and they stand on. Oh, God, I just want to talk about this rubbish. The system in the Western world is even better here in the United States, but in Africa, in where I come from, it only takes grace for certain people to get to the point to get their pension. Let me put that Social Security as their pension, because Social Security is not free. It is what you have been working when you were youth, and they were deducting from you, and then you get it. Now you come to talk, and in this Social Security, I want to say something. It's not everybody that even have right for dentists. We don't even know that in Africa. What's dentists? It's maybe some of us that have traveled now, and many of our big brothers and big sisters who travel and came and try now to put this there. Under Social Security, we still talk about insurance. We don't know that. Many people die because there's no insurance. They don't have it. In the movie that I watched, also, these are true life story. This girl lost the mother because she was just managing, having a boca there, managing to cook on the road. And the doctor said, we cannot help you. The girl begged and begged and begged and said, please just treat my mother. I will work on the hospital after my mother. They refuse. No insurance. They don't have insurance. Huh? What kind of Social Security or pension? You find your money yourself. And that is one of the reasons where I come from, or people who are in our faith, they pray more because they pray more because there's no place that they will get help in the form of human rights. Yeah, they have to pray that Jesus is our only way. If they are Muslim or if they are Hindu, they call unto their God. You have to come here and help us. Because in this situation, we cannot get fiscal men. And then even when you talk of humanitarian organizations that go there, there are people that they give stuff, Dr. Anita, and I want to say this to you to hear me well. And there are certain people who sit on those things and will not give it to the needy. I have one voice of widow in your care. I take care of those widows. There are 130 something of them. I just lost 3 this year alone. One died this month. The other one died the same week. All of them just dying. And I was devastated in September. Devastated.
Wow.
Devastated.
I'm so sorry.
Are elderly women, no husband, nobody. Their children are fighting for freedom and they are dead. Food they don't have. God, please help me, because I've not fed them for the how many couple of months. I've not given them food. because it has not just been easy. This is what we call that if God has blessed you, be a blessing. Let this social security, there's no insurance. They don't have hospital. Many of these people or women, they die not because the doctors are not, they don't have these facilities. It's not there.
True.
Yeah, so true. Well, let's move on with these last few articles of human rights. Article 23 is the right to work protection, where everyone has the right to work, to get protection against unemployment, to make sure that they have favorable working conditions. Article 24 is the right to leisure. So you have the right to work and you have the right to have leisure, to take a vacation. Like, you shouldn't be made to work so much that you never take a vacation. Article
Indeed.
25 is the right to adequate standard of living and basic needs, which we kind of already discussed.
We touched
Article
that.
26 is the right to education, which is like near and dear to my heart because I currently take care of 10 girls in Ghana, making
I
sure
have
that
to
they
talk
have
about it.
education. And I'm also taking care of 3 young men who are in Kenya, who are going for STEM education under the Titus 10 Foundation. And so the right of education says that education should be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Everyone should have free basic education. And do you know that in many places, education is not free? Education should be directed to the full development of the human personality. Parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education they want for their child, and they should be free, absolutely free to get education. And this is something that is changing so much, that parents choose the kind of education their child can receive. So, of course, those who are more well-to-do, that have education, that have money themselves, are able to send their kids to the good university, to the good schools, where other kids are poor. They are, don't have parents to take care of them, don't have guardians or older brothers and sisters, and they don't get educated. And so then you have a society made up of people who are ignorant about life and have to struggle to make ends meet and wonder how they're going to get paid to do anything. And then Article 27 is the right to protection of original work. If you're an artist, if you're an author, if you're a dancer and you created something, you have the right to protect your creation and your original work. Article 28 is the right to fair and a free world. Article 29 is due diligence of an individual and respect of human rights. And finally, Article 30 is protection and preservation of the human rights themselves. So I want to ask each of you in your closing remarks to share with us what you're currently doing with human rights, what you hope to do in the future, and how people can contact you to speak, to lecture, to present, to organize, events for human rights. How can people contact you? What is your next goal as far as human rights? And we will wrap up for today. So we will start with Dr. Florence, and then we will end with Dr. Shaleen and myself.
Well, thank you so much again. I'm so very blessed for this opportunity to really express my feeling and how this human right today that we are celebrating what is supposed to do. Talking on what we do. This, I have made up my mind. I've just sent you something. That is a lady that just sent me a message right now because she knew that she was supposed to be on this. That's the lady, Dr. Anita. So you can look at that. She said they are free to post it because she's ready for it. So what we are doing in our community right now, I'm trying now to have seminar which we have graduated some certain students to get into it. And personally, I'm looking forward to go in the community and go outside to help in some of those rights that cannot be met, like the right of education. Not everybody is going to school, and women, and to educate them. My cry is an awareness. They need to know what their rights are. What their rights are, freedom of speech and certain things. So I'm looking forward that many other organizations will contact me and talk to me and tell me that we should move forward in this. I am an advocate for women. I am an advocate for women. And if I'm advocate for women, definitely children are part of it. So My organization, I have even another organization, Confident Woman, rebuilding the confidence of women who have been battered, women who have been pushed. And I'm looking forward, if you are looking for someone to come and speak and educate your people, I am very open here for you. And Dr. Anita will put my information there for you all to take care of that. But again, it was a pleasure having me on this beautiful broadcast this afternoon. I am excited, and I know that many that will come across with this video, they will be free. They will know that there is hope out there, and they have some people that are believing that together we can make this work. Thank you so much. Nobody else. My nickname is Apostle by Fire by Thunder, Professor Florence Chami.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Dr. Shaleen, tell us about what you are doing in human rights now. What are the next steps and how can people contact you?
Yeah. First of all, again, many thanks for giving me this opportunity to come and speak today and to, hear from Dr. Florence. It was amazing to share and interchange the culture and the viewpoints and the work, what we all are doing. Yes, it's amazing. Yeah. Talking about me, as I said, that I'm a youth empowerment speaker, work in youth affairs, and human rights lecturer, consultant, advocate, trainer, and activist. Yes, I teach in universities, and I do seminars, workshop, and even they do internship program on human rights with me. And even I studied human rights based in human resource management. Even that topic is also open. They come and do their sessions with me on that also. So I give workshops, seminars, internship, and train the trainer programs that I do. I train in several universities worldwide, in India, different parts of India, even in Kolkata, in all many colleges I'm working, like Bhavanipur, St. Xavier's, New Alipur, dental colleges, management colleges, everywhere. So whosoever wants to contact me and wants to have me and wants to have a training program, they're open. They can come and they can contact me. My Facebook ID is Shaleen Das Twinkie, and my Instagram Dr. Shaleen Das, and my phone number is 833 plus 91 833 and my email address is shaleendas @gmail.com. So they can contact me. And if in future, Dr. Anita and Florence, if you organize event summit where you want me as a trainer, I'm always there whenever you all need me. Because we know one thing, whether we are working for America, Nigeria, India, doesn't matter. Our mission and goals is all same. We all are standing in this same shoe to make human mankind a global reality, to give importance in human rights education so that youth can be aware of human rights. Thank you so much for having me all the way from India, and we'll see you soon in the United States of America, and we'll do big events, and even you all are welcome to India anytime.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So with that, we're going to wrap up for today. Thank you so much. Thank you both so much for helping me to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights. We have a lot of work to do, but we will move forward. We will continue. We will press on despite the opposition, despite the hardship, despite the lack of perseverance on some people's part. We are determined to go forward to educate people, men, women, children, people of all nations, all colors, all races, all religions, about human rights. Thank you so much for joining me. You can always contact me at AnitaMckaney.com, where you can find all the things, the books, speaking engagements, information on human rights, as well as supporting the Titus 10 Foundation, where we educate and empower young girls into nursing, young men into STEM education, widows into education, as well as bringing water to Namibia. So thank you so much for joining us, and God bless you. We appreciate you. Share this out with someone who needs to learn about human rights. Thank you.
Thank you so. Thank you all. Thank you all. Contact Dr. Anita for my information. It's too broad.
Thank you.